Would you describe, I was just thinking as you're saying that, would you describe the subconscious mind as almost ethereal in that regard? So, because it's on the same wavelength as every single possible reality, every single thought is actually happening. I remember hearing that when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Would you describe it more as like there but not there, if it makes sense? So we have the subconscious mind, but we don't have the entirety of it because some of it could be off in bizarre example, like a samurai version of our world without all the computers, because it's also tapped into that, or simultaneously tapped into ours.
That might be one way to interpret it. I think that sounds a lot like everything everywhere all at once sort of interpretation, where we see these, where we have these, magical worlds. And that movie isn't necessarily totally wrong either. The director said he'd read my book, which I was like, oh, that's hilarious. But I more see it as, where are you right now? And then what are the branches of possibilities that exist from your current position? So I use the analogy in the book of, yes, through the power of the subconscious, all things are possible. Um, but if we find ourselves today on the planet Mars with no breathing apparatus, that's a very narrow range of possibilities that we've given ourselves. And that's like almost certain death at that point. So the subconscious does navigate these many worlds, but it's again a very practical tool. And I think the best analogy is that of a supercomputer doing many processes simultaneously while we remain focused. And um, the calculating multiple variables, that is a taxing process. And you could think from an evolutionary biology point of view, the brain and the body is always sort of looking to optimize processes and find maximum efficiency. And maybe having a lot of those processes occurring at an unconscious level, a subconscious level, is the most efficient way to do things. Imagine if you had to navigate the world in each moment, thinking about the thousands of things that could unfold. Aside from the anxiety that would result, it just would be a slow, inefficient process. And we could say maybe that is an evolutionary biological mechanism by which the brain functions to navigate the many possibilities, which is to just leave the conscious mind sort of out of a lot of it. And we know just how much of our or maybe we don't know, but some of us know how much of our decision making is just at subcortical levels of awareness, where that we don't get a preview to a lot of what's going on behind the scenes. We don't fully understand a lot of our motivations. Often, a lot of these motivations are based on a lot of prehistoric drives, which we think are no longer relevant. And the subconscious just deals with a lot of those. And I think then there's some rationality to postulate that the subconscious would also be the one navigating the many worlds if that was the reality that we did exist in.